Love beneath the waves. Humanity had always wondered if we were alone in the universe. Some dreamed of other worlds and their enigmatic inhabitants. Few, however, could have foreseen that one such inhabitant would descend from the stars, shimmering like a dream and setting into motion the strangest love story ever told. Her name was Lyra, and she was unlike anything Andrew could have imagined. Her skin shimmered in hues of blue and green, like moonlight on water, and her large, liquid eyes seemed to hold entire galaxies. She stood, or rather floated, on a platform of water suspended in midair, speaking in a voice that resonated like a gentle tide pulling at his soul. It wasn't just her beauty that captivated him. It was the way she spoke of her world, Aqualis, an ocean planet teeming with life and wonder. Our kind, she said, can share our essence with those we choose, but it requires a transformation, a merging. Once you've joined me, your human body will no longer suffice. The catch was simple, but life-altering. Andrew would have to leave everything behind: his human form, his air-breathing existence, and any lingering ties to Earth. In exchange, he would gain a new body, sleek and powerful, with a gleaming fish-like tail and the ability to live underwater. He would become part of her world, her life, her people, and of course Lyra herself. I can't promise it will be easy, she said, her voice tinged with sadness, but I will be there always. Andrew's heart raced. The idea was terrifying, but the promise of love, true, otherworldly love, was irresistible. The process was unlike anything Andrew had experienced or could describe. It began with him standing waist-deep in a pool of shimmering liquid that felt alive, as if it were studying him. Lyra stood nearby, singing a hauntingly beautiful melody that seemed to harmonize with the liquid. Then the change began. Pain lanced through his body as his legs fused, his skin transformed into iridescent scales, and his lungs adapted to draw oxygen from water. He gasped, then plunged into the pool, his new tail propelling him effortlessly through the water. Lyra swam to him, her laughter like bubbles in the ocean. "You did it!" she cried, embracing him. Her touch was electric, her joy contagious. Aqualis was everything she'd promised. Coral reefs stretched for miles, glowing with bioluminescent colors. Schools of fish swam in intricate patterns, and enormous sea creatures glided serenely through the depths. Andrew, now called Aurel, learned to navigate this world with ease. His relationship with Lyra deepened, their bond growing stronger with every shared dive and whispered conversation. He didn't miss Earth, not really. Here he had a new purpose, a new home, until they found out it wasn't entirely theirs. It began when Aurel noticed something odd, a flickering light far above their habitat. Curious, he convinced Lyra to swim up and investigate. What they found froze them both in place. A massive glass dome encased their watery paradise, with throngs of alien tourists peering in. The visitors ranged from gelatinous blobs with multiple eyes to spindly creatures with elongated limbs, all chattering excitedly as they snapped pictures and tapped on the glass. Andrew, or Aurel, felt a sinking realization. They were part of an exhibit. "We've been captured," Lyra whispered, her voice trembling. "The Space Goblin cartel must have taken us. This is their doing." Andrew remembered stories of the Space Goblins, intergalactic criminals infamous for trafficking rare creatures. And now, he and Lyra were their latest attractions. A few days later, a goblin emissary arrived in their dome, paddling a hovercraft that belched out thick purple smoke. His green, warty face split into a toothy grin as he addressed them. "Welcome to Aqualand, the galaxy's premier aquatic attraction. Your love story is quite the draw. The Human and the Princess of Aqualis, starring the galaxy's finest merman and mermaid duo. You're famous." "Famous," Aurel growled. "You mean prisoners, you asshole. You made me trick the human just for profits, you greedy son of bitch." "Semantics," the goblin said with a wave of his hand. "You'll have a great life here. Free food, luxurious surroundings, and plenty of adoring fans. Plus, you'll be paid a cut of the profits." "Profits?" Lyra's eyes narrowed. "You mean we're performing for these tourists?" "Precisely. And might I add, you two are naturals." The goblin tipped his hat and zipped away, leaving the pair fuming. For weeks, Aurel plotted escape. But the dome was impenetrable, and the guards, hulking brutes with electrified spears, were always watching. Lyra, meanwhile, tried to make the best of their situation, encouraging Aurel to focus on the positives. "We're still together," she said softly one night. "And we're safe. That's more than most can say." In time, Aurel began to see her point. The tourists, while invasive, were harmless, and the goblins kept their promise of comfort. Slowly, resentment gave way to acceptance. And then there was the day Lyra announced she was pregnant. Their children were a wonder to behold, half-human, half-Aqualian hybrids with tails that shimmered like stars. They swam through the dome with unbridled joy, bringing new light to Aurel's existence. Performing for the tourists became less of a chore and more of a celebration. The family would leap and twirl through the water, showcasing the beauty of their world. The tourists cheered, and the goblins smiled, while counting their profits. Over time, Aurel came to see their captivity not as a curse, but as a unique opportunity. They were ambassadors of Aqualis, sharing its wonders with the galaxy. And so, dear human reader, I pose this question to you. Would you have made the same choice? Would you leave behind your world, your body, your identity, for the chance to be with someone who made your heart soar? Would you dive into the unknown even knowing the risks? Aurel did. And while his story took an unexpected turn, he found something precious beneath the waves. A love that transcended worlds and a new family to share it with. So what about you? Would you do it? Let me know in the comments if you would take the offer.